Hey students, so today we are going to discuss the topic of ecological interaction, which means interaction among living things. So the first one is adapting to the environment. Natural selection, a characteristic that makes an individual better suited to its environment, may eventually become common in that species. So, over time, helpful traits that help an animal survive become more common in that species. Okay, and natural selection results in adaptation or behaviors and physical characteristic that allows organism to live successfully in their environment. So basically, these are the physical traits or behaviors that help an organism live successfully. So we can say that the adaptations are the physical traits or behaviors. Okay? Niche. The role of an organism in its habitat or how it makes it living. So basically, the specific job or role an organism has in its habitat, including how it survives. Okay? So the next one is niche. An organism's niche includes the organism food, how it obtains, other organisms that use the organism as food, when and how it reproduces, and physical characteristic required to survive. So basically, an organism's needs is made up of everything it does to live, like what it eats and how it gets its foods, which other animal eat it, and when and how it reproduces, the physical trait it needs to survive. Okay, so organisms interact with each other in three main ways. Okay, the first one is competition, like fighting over resources. The next one is predation, like one animal hunting another. Okay, and the next one is symbiosis, like close relationship between different species. Okay, so competition. So it is a struggle between organisms as they attempt to use the same limited resource. So basically, this is the struggle between living things trying to use the exact same limited resources like food or space. Okay, occurs when two species occupy the same niche. As I have told you that this is a struggle between living things trying to use the exact same limited resources like food or space. Okay, why can't two species occur the same niche? If two species occupy the same niche, they will compete directly against each other and one species will eventually die off. Like we are saying that two different species cannot hold the exact same niche. If they try, they will fight directly and one species will eventually die off. Okay? So the next one is predation. So the interaction in which one organism kills another for food is called predation. So basically, this is an interaction where one animal kills another for food. Okay, the organisms that does the killing is a predator, and the organism that is killed is a prey. So basically, the animal that does the killing is a predator, and the animal that gets eaten is a prey. Okay. Predation and population size. Okay. If death rate is greater than birth rate, then population size decreases. If birth rate is greater than death rate, then population size increases. So they're saying that if more animals die than are born, the population goes down. If more are born than die, it goes up. Okay? In simple, they're saying this. So, when the death rate exceeds the birth rate, the size of the population decreases, resulting in a decrease in the size of the population of their prey. As this occurs, the predator go without food and the predator population decreases. Predator and prey population rise and fall in related cycles. So basically, they're saying that when predators eat too much prey, the prey population drops with less food available. The predator population then drops too. Because of this, predator and prey numbers naturally go up and down in the cycles. Okay, so, so this is basically the population graph. Like this slide shows a real world examples of predator Prey cycles using moose and wolf populations. Okay, when the moose population gets large, the wolf population increases. Okay, because they have more food. And when the moose population shrinks, the wolf population decreases shortly after. Okay, adaptations. Okay, predator adaptation help them catch and kill prey. Cheetah can run very fast for a short time. Jellyfish tentacles contain a poison substance that paralyzes tiny water ants. So basically, predator adaptation, like tools to help catch and kill prey, like a cheetah, speed, or jellyfish paralyzing sting. Okay, prey adaptations help them avoid becoming prey. Alertness and speed of an antelope help protect it from its predators and smell spray of a skunk. So basically, they are saying that the tools to avoid getting caught, like, and you can say that the antelope's quick alertness or skunk smelly spray. Okay. Okay. So basically, they are the defense strategies. Like animals use special visual tricks to stay safe from predators. Okay. So protective covering, like sharp or hard outer shells. Okay. The next one is false coloring, like markings that tricks predators. Okay. Like fake eye spot on a moth's wing. Okay. And mimicry, like looking like a much more dangerous animal. Okay. And the next one is camouflage, like blending into the background. And also warning coloring, sorry. Bright colors that signals I'm poisonous or taste bad. Okay? Okay, so the next one is symbiosis. Okay. Organisms within a community interact with each other in many ways. Some are predators, some are prey, some compete with one another, some cooperate, some species form symbiotic relationship with other species. Okay? So basically, symbiosis is a close relationship between two different species. Okay? And there are three types. The first one is mutualism, the second one is commensalism, and the third one is parasitism. So, mutualism means benefit both, like both species benefit and are happy. Okay? Commensalism, like benefits one, other unaffected. Like one species benefits while the other is completely unaffected. Okay? And parasitism, one species benefits but the other one is harmed. Okay? Changes in communities. Okay. Okay. Primary successions. Like ecosystems are always changing, and the first topic is primary successions. A series of change that occurs in an area where no soil or organism exist. Okay. So basically, what it is, like, this is when life starts in a brand new area where there's no soil and no living things yet, like bare rock after a volcano erupts. Okay. In a barren area, a new community is established with pioneer species, like first species in the area, like mosses, that do well with little or no soil. Mosses eventually give way to coniferous tree. So basically, the very first top organism, like mosses, move into the bare area because they can survive without the soil. Over time, as these small plants die and break down, they help create the first layer of soil. Okay. Once soil is formed, larger plants can move in, eventually growing into a full forest of big trees. Okay. Secondary successions, like a series of changes that occur in an area where the ecosystem has been disturbed. So basically, This happens when an ecosystem is destroyed by a natural disaster like a forest fire, flood, or other thing, but the soil is still there. Okay, so when a disturbance like fire, flood, or tornadoes damages a community, but soil remains, the community gets reestablished from seeds and roots left behind. Grasses grow, then small shrubs, and eventually trees. So basically, how it works, like since the soil is already present and contain leftover seeds and roots, life can grow back much faster. First, grasses and weeds start to sprout. Next, small bushes and shrubs grow. And finally, large trees grow back and the forest return to normal. Okay?